Hey, thanks for coming. We're gonna go through this acrylic painting that I did the other day. It was the first acrylic painting I've done in almost a year. I had a lot of fun working on it, even though the result is, I still really enjoy looking at it from far away. We've got tea, I've got my computer here, and I'm going to watch this video and talk to you a little bit about the process and a little bit about my thoughts on why it's worth finishing a piece, even if it's not perfect. I did this sketch originally in Procreate, and I looked at a bunch of different references. It took me a while to really get something that I was vibing with, and I did a bunch of variations on her outfit and her hair before I really found something that I liked. I think outfit design is one of my favorite things, so sometimes I will do like 5 different layers of different outfit options or hair options before finally settling on something. And then I went and put a little bit of a Art Deco style frame and pattern behind her, which I think is really one of my favorite things about this piece that brings it together and makes it feel more complete, is having that frame element and the pattern behind her. My paints, I only have the CMYK set, so I have the CMYK soft body golden acrylic paints. That's what I'm using here. So I feel like this color scheme is very CMYK. I really wanted to try to use more opaque mediums in 2021, and so I figured I would just jump into acrylic. And I've done a couple acrylic paintings that I'm really happy with, and I have them sitting pinned up on my board, and I look at them all the time, and I'm like, why don't I do more acrylic? I think it really suits my style. But that said, coming from a watercolor background, I find acrylic to be really weird and different. It's definitely, I guess, easier because you do have the ability to cover things up. I'm specifically using a thinner paint. I'm using soft body paint, which is going to be a little bit thinner than a regular acrylic would be, a thick, creamy consistency that most acrylic paint is when you think of acrylic paint. This is a little bit more sheer, and you can kind of build it up. Well, I guess more like an oil painting. I don't know, I've never really painted with oils, but that's kind of what I imagine oil painting is like, where you do a lot of thinner layers and build it up, right? Yeah. So coming into this, I knew I really wanted to do an underpainting. This is actually like the main reason that I did this whole painting, is because I wanted to experiment with underpainting. And this one, I went with a yellow because the frame was going to be gold. I don't know if I really like that choice in the end. It was kind of cool for her skin. It really came through, and even in the dress, it was really nice and unifying with that blue color because it turned it a little bit more tealy, which I actually really like that look. You can see the lighter bits on her dress are usually where the yellow pops through a little bit more. And same with her skin. Next time I want to try doing more of like a magenta underpainting and using the underpainting for more of a line art or defining. I like that look a lot. I don't really know how to do it. So I learn best when I just jump in and go for it. I feel like when I am not used to working in a medium, that I'm wrestling with it, and this was really no different. I felt like I was wrestling with it the whole time. I finally got some new paintbrushes when I was like 2/3 of the way done, because the paintbrushes that I was using were a little older, and with acrylic paintbrushes you really have to be careful to clean them, or else they'll get separated from the paint drying deep in the bristles. Not good. And when you come from a watercolor background, that's like the opposite of where you're used to. But I guess we'll go back to the whole point of this, which is finishing things. I think there really is something to pushing through and trying to finish a piece, even if it's not perfect. The end result is totally worth the time that it takes to wrestle, or there really is something that happens in your brain when you finish a piece, even if it's not perfect, even if it was a discovery and you really spent the whole time learning. you have come out of that project with so much more knowledge than if you stop halfway through and throw it aside and start something new and continue that one and get halfway through and then start something new. No, you got to finish it. I feel like for me personally, my process, my learning process has completely shifted when I started making myself finish things, because you have something to look at. You have an end result and you can be aware of the issues, but you can also really like some parts of it and know that you learned from that. The rest just comes with time. And you have to make a lot of pieces that aren't perfect before you can make that one piece that maybe is perfect. And then in another week or 3, you'll look back on that piece and you'll be like, that's not so perfect. But, doesn't diminish its value. It's still something that taught you how to be the artist that you are now. When I scanned it in, I was just so over the feeling of wrestling with the paint. Like the flowers especially, I'm not really great at rendering flowers. I can draw them with line art, okay, but painting flowers is really hard. You can see my struggle. And I think I repainted them like 4 times, and then I was just like, I'm just gonna do it digitally. And that's what I did. You can see in this video that I do some digital editing of my traditional painting. And this is actually something that I've been doing a lot of lately. I'm not sure if it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing in some ways, but in other ways, like it's kind of a trap, because it's never going to be perfect. And in the end, like I like that I fixed her mouth, which was a little crooked from the traditional painting, but like I don't know if the rest of the changes were really even necessary. And I think I do that a lot when I do this method. It's like I'll just fix it and fix it and fix it. I'm happy enough with the result. But in the end, this isn't my favorite painting I've ever done, but I feel really proud of the result, even though it's not my favorite painting I've ever done. Like, look, that looks pretty. I'm really happy with how the dress turned out, especially in the hair. The rest just comes with practice. So push forward, finish things, even if you don't love them, because in the end, you'll learn so much more by finishing things than by just tossing things aside when they're half done. I promise. Now I have to follow up with my own advice and go finish my 20 projects that I'm working on. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and watching me go through this painting. I hope you enjoyed the process, and I hope maybe you will go finish something yourself. And I will catch you next time. I'm hoping to start uploading videos every week. I'm kind of waiting to see what feels natural for the day that I choose, but I do want to pick a day that I hold myself accountable for posting a new video. As of now, it's Thursday, and I have this video edited, so should hopefully have it up by Friday. So maybe Friday will be the day. We'll see.